So working upside down can be a challenge, but we're going to show you a quick tip on how we can accomplish this without much effort. Alright guys, so replicating this bead can be a little bit of a challenge. Again, we're working with material upside down, so I want to give you a quick tip on how to replicate this with a little bit of ease. We're going to take a standard mud spreader first, right? And then we're actually going to cut a notch in it. And then in this case here, to replicate the look that I'm going for, I used a hole punch and actually created a little bit of a dimple in that spreader. And where this is going to apply is when I'm actually putting it on that wheel arch. It's going to act as a guide, and it's going to make my bead for me and remove any excess material. And this is simply done by, we're going to put the material on the surface first, and then we're going to drag the spreader along, keeping it at a consistent angle as we go. We don't want to tip it forward, backwards, upside down. We want to stay consistent, perpendicular to the surface so that we get a nice square bead all the way around that wheel arch. So we're going to do it on this flat panel here so you guys can see it a little bit easier. But again, you can use this same practice on that wheel arch. We're going to use our heavy-body product, Heavy-Bodied Seam Sealer 8308. We want to start, as always, by equalizing our two-part cartridges up right into a paper towel. After that, we're going to apply our static mixing nozzle. And once we have the ring secured, we want to actually dispense a little bit of material out onto a mixing board or into that paper towel. Usually we say 2 to 3 inches. We just want to make sure that we've got adequate mix coming down the nozzle before we dispense it out on the vehicle. Once we've equalized it, let's get started on the car itself. So what I've done is I've just run a bead right along that edge. So again, we're doing this on a flat surface so you can see it a little easier. Picture this kind of upside down. If I feel like I need a little bit more material to be put out, I'm going to go ahead and run another bead right over the top of the one that I just laid. Once I feel like I have enough material on there, we're going to take our spreader and we're going to use that notched edge as our guide, and we're going to drag it along and we're going to create that bead. Now this is doing a couple things. When we dispense the material, we're pushing it onto the surface so we got good adhesion. When we use the spreader, we're also forcing it into the surface yet again. And we're creating a nice clean edge on the seal. Now, if you want, you can come back in here while it's still wet and we can clean up this excess material without disturbing that edge. You could also wait until this is cured and you could sand that out to a smooth finish so that after it's painted, all we have is this nice smooth bead on that wheel arch. So that's it for today's bead. If you want more information on any of our other seam sealers, visit 3M Collision Repair Academy. The link for that is in the description below. Also, check out some of our other videos here on our page. If you hit subscribe below, also click that notification bell. This is going to keep you up to date on the videos as we release them, showing you some of the best tips, techniques, and processes that are being done in the industry today. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up and throw a comment in the section down below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.